Hello and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat. We're here today to break down everything from the Conti Cup Final last weekend, including the very interesting end to the game, the fight, the drama that happened between Eidevall and Hayes. But we'll talk about the game first, because that's the important thing out of all of this. Obviously, Arsenal beating Chelsea 1-0. Do you think that result was a fair reflection on the game?
I think, to be honest, I think so. I'm gonna take my bias out of it, because if I sit here and talk shite from a Chelsea point of view, everyone's gonna turn off and it's gonna be rubbish.
Love another angry Chelsea fans.
Yeah, I think overall it's a cup final. If a cup final is 0-0 going into extra time, either side deserve to win it, because clearly there's not been enough in that game to show that either side should have won the game. Because it's been 0-0. We've got all the way through to the 115th minute without seeing a goal. I know obviously Chelsea had a disallowed goal. At the end of the day, that was the right decision. That's how the game works. Arsenal had a few chances, Hannah Hampton saved. Chelsea had a few chances, Zinsberger saved. End of the day, extra time is always a bit of a lottery. It comes down to survival of the fittest. Arsenal got their goal. Fair enough to them. They won the Conti Cup.
Yeah, inside 90 minutes, I think Chelsea were definitely the better team. I think Arsenal didn't really have much to speak of in the way of chances. Chelsea dominated, really. And if any of the Lauren James strike that was tipped round the post went in, or I think if we'd brought on Guro earlier, that might have just brought us a bit more into the game. But I think we made the first mistake, and probably Hayes' first out of two big errors regarding not regarding the fight. We don't care about that. But in terms of the actual game, the first two big errors was not starting Guro. I think if you start Guro, play Lauren James attack midfield, I think we would have scored in the first half. I think that Nuskin didn't do anything particularly wrong. It's that she didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
This kind of game wasn't one that Nuskin thrived in. James in a central area would have been a lot more dangerous, and having Reiten out on the left-hand side might have just given us a bit more control. So I feel like that was a mistake from Emma Hayes. I feel like we should have started Guro Reiten on the left, Lauren James attack midfield.
Yeah.
However, and perhaps this is because of her positioning, I don't think Lauren James is very good. I think that she seemed, I don't know whether it was the final and the attention of the game, the atmosphere of the game just weighing on her mind, but we didn't see the usual electric, confident Lauren James we're used to seeing. She got to the edge of the box a few too many times and stopped and slowed it down. That's not the Lauren we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing her want to take players on, get shots away at any cost. We didn't see that on Sunday, and I think that was a big reason why Chelsea didn't get a goal. We didn't take enough shots. We didn't take enough risks. And as a consequence, we ended up not scoring a goal. I mean, Ramirez, very good strike, but that was her only shot of the game. It's a shame, obviously, that didn't count, but it did strike the arm of Aaron Cuth, but as you say, rightfully disallowed. I think VAR had a very interesting impact. I think it obviously smashed it there, but with a penalty late in extra time, that was a big cock-up.
That was... VAR. And this is...
Because I think Cheryl Foster gives that if VAR wasn't in operation, but she goes, I won't give it because VAR will review it. VAR, for whatever reason, decided that wasn't a penalty. I'm not sure what logic they used, what rule book they used, but Emily Fox made no attempt to play the ball. She brings Macario to the ground, who is bursting into a really good area. Even if she can't get a shot away on goal, she's going to play it across to someone or create some sort of opportunity. That's a stonewall penalty for me. Every day of the week, that's a stonewall penalty. So I think that was a big, big call. But as a Chelsea fan, I can't sit here and go, it was all that, because we didn't score a goal in 120 minutes of football. We can't then say we should have scored that. We should have got that one penalty. That was the only real big error from the refereeing team. In extra time, Chelsea didn't go for enough. We didn't make enough subs. Hayes really left the players out there to die, and that's her second mistake. We didn't make any changes. The players out there clearly couldn't keep up with the pace of the game. We saw it for Arsenal's eventual winner, where they burst down the left-hand side, and the players are trying to track back. But by this point, it's the fifth time they had to run in behind in extra time. Fifth or sixth time. And they can't do it. The players were too tired in that back line. We should have made changes. We had players like Ashley Lawrence on the bench, who could have come on at right back, could have come on at left back, giving us a bit of energy in the back line. We could have brought in another midfielder. We had options off the bench. For whatever reason, just Emma Hayes is deeming they weren't worthy of getting on in that game. And I think that was a big error. Yeah. A big error.
I mean, we had players out there who had, at that point, have played probably, with added time, 130 minutes of football. These are players who are playing games every 3 or 4 days.
I was going to say, in addition to the fact a lot of them played either last Sunday for 90 minutes, or they played in the midweek. So there was a lot of players on there that were very tired, and understandably so.
Yeah, that was poor from Emma. I thought that's one thing she'd got wrong. And maybe, as I said on stream, maybe it's a situation because Chelsea don't usually go to extra time. Maybe it's a situation that Emma isn't really, doesn't really know how to handle. And then I think, as you say, the first mistake with Guro and James. You never bench Guro Reiten for a cup final. That is criminal for me. And Lauren James, time and time again, we have seen it again. We saw it for England in the big games. She doesn't perform, because it's not like she goes missing, because she's definitely involved, but she doesn't perform, and she goes around lumping into people and acting like an absolute idiot.
That yellow card was really stupid.
The yellow card was stupid for just whacking into Kadena.
And then she just seemed to be out of the game from that point. And crazy. I think we reacted too late to that. I think Anki Beaver-Jones coming on after we'd conceded was a really... Like, she had no chance to have an impact on the game. No. I feel like she should have came into the match earlier. We had like 20 minutes for Canaride or 15 minutes for Canaride playing on the left wing. I mean, there were some really bizarre moments in the game. I just think Emma Hayes got it all wrong, really. And I'll be the first to defend Emma, as we'll see later on with the fight. Yeah. But I think she massively got it wrong on the day and potentially cost Chelsea that trophy. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a very disappointing way to lose our chances at a quadruple. I think Chelsea have got to get this out of their head, though. And like last season when we lost to the Conti Cup and then that spurred us on for glory, we now have to win all other three. Yeah, 100%. No excuses.
And I think the bit that frustrates me is that we lost because we got it wrong rather than Arsenal getting right. If Arsenal played us off the park and beat us, I'm not saying they didn't beat us fairly, but if they beat us square and just
they scored a shit goal because our players were tired and they didn't do anything else.
If they beat us fair and square, then fair enough, we can sit here and go, well done Arsenal, weren't our day today. But Chelsea got it wrong, Hayes got it wrong, it weren't the referee's fault. I mean, it's
a Stanwell pen, but
it's exactly what Howard Webb said on his weird show where he stands in a room with Mike Rowan.
Poor play.
With VAR refereeing, it's reffing blind now because they are, or reffing scared because they just don't want to make a decision and they know they've got the backing of VAR. Whoever was sat on VAR, I don't
get that.
That for 15
surely you'd be bold with the decision, because if she says it's a pen there and it turns out it's not, well done, VAR's done its job. Yeah. But by not saying it's a pen, VAR felt inclined to agree with the referee. I don't get it.
I like Cheryl Foster, but I think she had a bit of a bad game. But as I said, wasn't her fault that Chelsea lost. Hayes got it wrong. Chelsea got it wrong. Do I think Arsenal got it right? No. They didn't start Russo. They didn't put Russo on the pitch.
Well, I did find this out from a commenter, so thanks to whoever that was. I've forgotten your name now. Russo had a sickness bug the week they're going into the final, so she wasn't fit to start. Obviously, she did get on in the game.
It's a cup final.
Yeah, but she's ill. I mean, Steve Blackstone scored the winner, so it's not the worst. Not the worst decision from Eidevall, but I don't think Arsenal were particularly good on the day. I think they benefited from Chelsea getting it wrong.
I've never seen Emma Hayes get it wrong in such a large magnitude.
No. And then another way she's got it wrong is probably the response to this whole situation. So let's talk about what happened at the final.
And I think I think this has all happened because she's got it wrong in the first place.
I think she's
because she's annoyed at herself because she knows she messed up. Whatever happened.
Yeah. Well, firstly, the original incident that led to all of this was Eidevall's shout. Now, I don't know what no one knows what he said to Erin Cuthbert. That hasn't come out publicly. But basically, he was annoyed that Chelsea, that at the start of the game, everyone had agreed, Chelsea and Arsenal, that they'll use a single ball system. Yeah. So the ball that goes out of play is the one that you then have to use. I don't really know why they'd agreed on this.
Just use the
There's loads of balls around the stadium, but sure, that was what's agreed on, so you stick to that. In that moment where Chelsea are chasing a goal, Erin Cuthbert just picks up the closest ball and uses it. That pisses off Eidevall, understandably so. I don't know what he shouted, though, because to get the fourth official even turn around, Erin Cuthbert turn around and shout in his face, and Emma Hayes come marching across, he must have shouted something very interesting. Now, whatever he said, it got the attention of a lot of people. He was booked for it. Cuthbert noticeably wasn't booked. And I think that definitely denotes that whatever Eidevall said was very off the cuff, very passionate, very in the moment. I'm not going to accuse him of anything because I don't know what he said. But I'll be very intrigued to know what was actually
There's ways to go about it. If Chelsea were to the ball, I don't know what he said, but I'm guessing it wasn't the right way to go about it. If you see that happen, you've got to say to the ref, look, they're not abiding by the rules. And I'm sure Cheryl Foster would have blown a whistle, told Erin Cuthbert, go and get that ball that went out, please. And Erin Cuthbert would have done that absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So that one's a bit hard, but I don't know why he's done that. I don't know what he said, but again, it comes down. It's one of those. Go about it the right way. Be nice about it.
Yeah.
I get heat. I don't take heat at the moment. I don't care what heat at the moment means. You can still conduct yourself in the right way.
Then we've got the Emma Hayes point, and at the end of the game, the whatever she said. I think it's probably, you got lucky, or that was a penalty, or your coat looks shy. I'm not sure. One of those three options. I did look a bit. But one of those three options, whatever she said, she then pushes him. And that's created a lot of discourse, because I think that some people rightfully make the point that if this was the other way around, that would be, it would be Eidevall's a terrible person who loses his job. So I do think Emma Hayes was very much wrong to shove Eidevall. Now, the way it's been branded as a push, though, that's not if Eidevall gets thrown across the room, like flies into his assistant, yeah, that's a shove. But this little tap, that's
like calling it a shove when Louis Van Gaal fell over in front of the fourth official.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I've seen people push people. That's not a push.
It wasn't a push. There was very little in it. I think that for me, Hayes was very annoyed. That was wrong. She shouldn't have laid hands on Jonas Eidevall. As soon as you do that, you sort of cross a boundary. And I think she should be reprimanded by the FA, possibly a fine. I don't think match suspension or anything would be a befitting punishment, because she winded up and knocked Jonas Eidevall out. And I was like, I've just punished them out.
I just got a shove like that. She'd do that. He would have fell. If she had shoved him, we would have known about it for the next year.
Yeah, I was going to say. But I don't know about Jonas Eidevall. The problem is his reputation precedes him, because Gareth Taylor said it before. I think Carla Ward was another one who's spoken about it, and obviously Emma Hayes. His manner on the sideline is very bullish. And Hayes came out in the press conference afterwards and said that we need to kick this male arrogance of Eidevall out of the sport. And this is quite interesting, because obviously we're not on the touchline. We don't know everything he says. But from all reports and accounts, it does seem like he comes across as a bit of a dick on the sidelines. And it is heat at the moment. There is passion involved. But even from the little snippets we do see of Eidevall, I just don't find him likeable. I don't think a lot of Arsenal fans find him that likeable. He just comes across as a bit of a dick.
Yeah,
but that's not the worst thing.
I think he does come across like that. I don't want to sit. Trust me. After the game, I said quite a few things about him, but I'm not going to come on and say that, because what would be the point if I'm just going to sit here and berate Eidevall for my thoughts on him? But it's about you've got to conduct yourself in a professional manner. You've got to be respectful, and the way it's been reported that he conducts himself doesn't seem to be what it should be. It doesn't seem to be respectful. It doesn't seem to be appropriate. It feels like one of those people that, I don't know, makes those comments that he doesn't need to, acts the way he does it. I mean, you take the first time he beat Chelsea in that opening game of the season a few years, Nice, acting like he's just won the Champions League. It's things like that. You can do that. Okay, if he feels like that, fair enough. But conducting yourself, and you can be, obviously, I'm not saying you can celebrate on the sidelines, but for me, that's something you do in the changing room. You don't do that on the pitch. I mean, that's just a league game. Christ knows what he did when he won this cup final. He was like mental. But it's just conduct yourself. Like, even if you think if you're not happy with something, save it. Wait until you're in the cup final. I was angry that we'd lost. I didn't do it on stream and shout at everybody. Wait until we were off stream. Then I conducted myself in a bad manner. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to have that kind of public conduct that everyone else does.
Yeah, that professionalism. I don't know. I feel like we reached the end of an era now. Eidevall versus Hayes is over. They won't meet again unless Eidevall goes on to manage internationally.
That's his trophy.
Yeah, he's now won 2 Conti Cups over Emma Hayes.
He has the last.
And he'll be very happy with that. I think it's been a brilliant rivalry. It's a shame we won't see any more of it, because if those two had gone on for another 5 years, we'd be looking at,
would have knocked him out.
Probably, Wenger versus Mourinho type stuff. I definitely think there's a difference because it's a man versus a woman. There is some weird contract, because Hayes can push Eidevall. Eidevall can't push Hayes.
Just because it's the way society is.
Exactly. There's definitely a difference there in how they can interact. It's a weird situation. They're both managers competing at the top level. They're both going to be very passionate, very desperate to win at times. It's time all the little things like this happen. I think we can all move on, though. It's a funny moment. In 10 years' time, we'll be showing clips of it as we build up to a game between the two teams, probably still competing for the title, both with new managers, and we'll go, look, it's always been a feisty affair. Here's Eidevall and Hayes having a little push.
For me, I think you take everything out. You take society, gender, you take it all out of it.
Yeah.
Eidevall, the way I look at it is, Eidevall does not conduct himself very well. However, in this moment, in this incident, Hayes, who has conducted herself very well for her whole career, she did drop that professionalism a little bit.
Yeah.
She shouldn't react like that, but Eidevall is a very poor he does not show any respect.
Yeah.
But in that moment, Emma Hayes didn't either.
Do you think it shows the pressure that Hayes is under? You know, we've got 4 titles to win this season. A lot of people expecting big things from Chelsea. She's dropped the ball in this first one.
The thing that makes it worse for her is that the pressure she's putting on herself. She has put the pressure on herself that in her last year, she wants to give everything to these Chelsea players and their fans. She wants that quadruple. She wants as many trophies as possible. To drop the ball at the first hurdle, to drop that quadruple now is what I think we're annoyed at. And heat of the moment, she had been annoyed at herself for getting it wrong, annoyed at losing, and then that's where she just lost her conduct.
But also, if you lose the quadruple to the Barcelona Super team, everyone goes, oh, fair enough, as a Barcelona Super team. If she's lost to Jonas Eidevall, though, she's not going to be too pleased.
And also, Eidevall get a new wardrobe. He rocks up with a new coat every couple of weeks.
That's going to be my final comment, yeah. Well, that is everything from today. If Jonas Eidevall is watching, conduct yourself better and get a new coat.
And congratulations, Arsenal. At the end of the day, they won, and obviously, best wishes to Frida Mannon.
Yeah, hopefully she is all right. We know now she's in a stable condition, which is obviously great news. We still don't know what happened on the pitch, but good to know she is hopefully recovering. That's a big loss for Arsenal as well. They're going into these final weeks of the season. Not that they've really got anything to play for, but yeah, obviously, hopefully, best wishes to Frida Mannon. That's everything from us today, though. If you want to go back and watch our live reaction to the stream, you can, of course. The stream is on the channel, so if you want to watch Harry shouting about Eidevall and all that sort of stuff at the end, if you want to see our reaction to the goal, you can go back and watch that. If you want to keep watching our stuff, there's going to be a video on screen now. That would have been the preview, so what was the video from the week before? Title race stuff. So that'll probably be the one on screen now. So go and check that out.
Race, which they are.
If you want to watch Arsenal at the title race, click that. But that is everything from us this week. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. We're into international break now. We're live this Friday for England, Sweden, so join us there. But that's everything from us today. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.